There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another big edition of Talking Trots, and tonight a very special guest, Shane Young, the trainer-driver of the very, very good mare, Wonderful to Fly. Hopefully she wins on Friday night and we see her head to the East Coast for a crack at the Eureka, Australia's richest race, happening in the first weekend of September. Bomber Hill on fire last week. He's going to be back this week. Hayden King along as well. A big hello to Glen Mortimer. Morts, welcome to the program.
Inspector Radley, always good to be here. A big result with Bomber last Friday night. 10-unit win.
Yeah.
However, Hayden had just the one bet and he elected to have a bet in the stand. Need I say any more? Hopped and skipped a bit at the start, but anyway. That's the way it goes.
So
big
he'll
night.
redeem himself this week.
He will. Big night last Friday night at Gloucester Park. Some great racing.
Yep.
Castella Delacqua scored a great first up win for Madeline Young, driven by
Very impressive.
Jocelyn. It was very... Master Yossi, who I didn't think would lead, then got to the lead, tried to give away the lead, and then got back to the lead and was just far too good in the end. So that was a very good... When they went 154.4. Then great drive, Gary Hall Jr. on Prince of Pleasure, very patient. Cyclone Charlotte copped some interference and then streeted them. Absolutely streeted them. She was absolutely brilliant.
Makes Wonderful Fly's form looks pretty good considering she touched her up the start before.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cyclone Charlotte, she's
very promising.
Very, very bright future. Carabao stepped and that was it. Big winner in the stand. Craig Abercrombie, Quinella in the 8th with Blue Blazer and Walsh. $101 running second.
For the Jevenses.
Yes, a big go in the 9th for your man Lindsay Harper with El Daytona. That was a big go, which came off a nice win first up to Wave Rider. It's going to be very hard to beat in the 2-year-old races coming up. Friday night, GP, Team Bond, 3 winners. Gary Hall Jr. 3, Denny Roberts a double, Kyle Symington a double. Then Saturday night at Narrogin, Kim Prentice got a double, which means Mitchell Miller got a double, and also a double to Chris Lewis. Monday at Gloucester Park, Team Bond a treble, Nathan Turvey a double, Denny Roberts a treble, and Junior a double. And Tuesday at Bunbury, treble to Team Bond and treble to Denny. So big week for Team Bond, that's for sure.
Certainly, and they go into Friday night, as you said, in very good form. But
we've got the John Higgins Memorial, the Catalano Pace, which is a ripper, and of course the Bridge Bar Pace, which has got the star mare. Can't wait to see that.
NRL at the Bridge Bar.
Yes.
No one's more excited than me with the NRL.
The Knights are in town.
in Perth at the moment.
The inspector's up and about.
Aren't I? All right. The NRL at the Bridge Bar Pace is one that I think a lot of people from the East will be taking notice of this Friday night. We get to see Wonderful to Fly from the outside of the front. Let's go back to the Kerry Clark, which was back at the end of June. And she started at 101 and ran like it.
Look at her go. She bolted away 10 metres in front of Cyclone Charlotte. On the outside, Steno, American Armour battling on 18 Carat the inside. But Wonderful to Fly's a mile out in front of Cyclone Charlotte. 18 Carat, American Armour the outside. And Wonderful to Fly is absolutely bolted in, won by 15 metres.
Yes, that was win 27 from 43 starts.
It's a pretty fair record.
6 out of 9 for the season. And her trainer-driver, Shane Young, joins us on the program right now. Shane, welcome to the program.
Yeah, good to be on.
Well, mate, how's the mare? She's had about a month or so off, but obviously she's got some big races hopefully coming up.
Yeah, well, that was the idea. We just sort of give her a couple of runs, the last 2 runs, and then decide to give a couple of weeks off in the aim to, either if she got a slot, to have her ready for the Eureka. As it turned out, we didn't get a slot, but John Singleton has come up with the idea of creating a race to give horses that probably want to go and have a crack at it an opportunity to maybe get in the race. So at this stage, that looks like we'll be doing.
So, like you said, the Singo, as it's called, it's only a $50,000 race. So, in the schemes of the Eureka, it's not a big race. But what it does give you is the opportunity of getting selected to go in, and you don't have to win the race, do you, Shane? It's just a matter of who they select for that spot out of that race.
Yeah, because obviously, the horse, particular horse that they may pick could just be unlucky, run a really good race, so they're leaving their options open, which, same deal, it's creating a bit of a different look at that race to get into the Eureka. So, if you get beat, it's not completely the end of the ball game. You've got a chance to for them to go over it and still maybe have a chance of getting in. Otherwise, I think, there's definitely a $100,000, presume it will call the consolation on the same night as Eureka. So,
yes,
if she didn't make the Eureka but she was doing okay, she would probably stay for that. And also the emergencies for the Eureka come out of the Singo. Yeah,
they picked the 4 emergencies from the Singo, and the Stockade is the $100,000 race, which you'd get a chance to have a crack at. Shane, she was a brilliant 3-year-old, but as a 4-year-old, just seems to have absolutely gone to another level. And just listening before we introduced you, and she absolutely put paid to Cyclone Charlotte, and we've seen how well she is going. So she just seems to have gone to another level as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I think that. I think her first run back from a spell, so she hadn't raced for a fair while, but she broke 155 when the horse of Michael Young's, never mind the Chaos, raced her. And then sort of, I think she ran a few places and won a couple of the easier races. But then I reckon that last little campaign, the night she beat Steno, was definitely a big improvement on probably what she could do at 3, because she just showed a bit more strength, because I had to use her up, and then she still just ran time, took some pressure, and still ran away from them. So, yeah, she's become a pretty much all-round racehorse, and, she just seems to be thriving.
What do you actually think's her best attribute is, Shane? Because we know she's really tough. Like some of the performances have been, she's just had to get out there and grot them, but she just seems to have this high speed as well. She's so adaptable. Yeah,
look, I think that obviously here, because she's, we'll call her one of the best mares here, yeah. She can do, you can put her in the race and maybe still get away with it. But I've always believed her speed, and if I could set her up, is her biggest asset. So, if we got the opportunity in the Eureka to I'm not going there saying I'm going to beat Leap to Fames and horse like that, but, if she had a cold set, she would just say 3 back the fence and at the top of her game, I would expect her to hold her own, because, I haven't had a horse that can do what she can do on the track, and most of that's just on her own. So she's a willing worker, and as Mort said, she's probably a better horse now than she ever was at 2 and 3. And, it would be interesting to get that opportunity. And
you're taking on the best of the best. This is as good a crop of 4-year-olds as I've seen, and throw in that the 3-year-old looks very good as well, the Lost Storm. So you're going over to take on Shane, the best horses that have been around for quite some time.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously I watch these horses, and it's a super group, and even the ones under those are really, really good horses. So we'd need a lot of luck to be able to beat them or get close to them. But, sometimes the big races are the ones where, the sniper can get them late if they have a bit of a war. And if you're good enough and on Menangle, you can probably just sit there and hope, and you have to pull out halfway up the straight and you're still a chance. Look, I'm confident that, she's good enough to be competitive. But it's only one way we're going to find out.
And of course, you'll get a pref draw.
Mares.
Get a pref draw, which is
in the 3-year-olds, obviously. So
which is great. But and then when she comes back, Shane, she's then got the Mares Classic to look forward to, Golden Nugget, McInerney, 4-year-old classics, all those sorts of races, and then obviously potentially a Nullarbor next year.
Yeah, it's hard because obviously I'm not going to race her in every race that's available. But obviously there's the Norm's daughter. I think it's about 10 weeks after the Eureka night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of what I would aim at, depending on how we can get her back and all that. And then I think the Mares Classic's a week or two after that, so they'd probably be her first two. Then, the Nugget, and then just assess it after that. I'm not sure whether the new Westbred race is in this season's program or the one after. So there's
No, it's the 4-year-olds the next year, so it'll be 2024, and I think it's around. It's just before, I think, the Nullarbor.
Yeah, but that's fine.
So,
she can. She's good enough to go on a lot of races, but obviously she's not a robot. And going away and all that, we'll just see how she handles that, and then we'll assess it from there.
So you'll tackle the Mares races and then possibly the Golden Nugget rather than going through the 4-year-old Classic and Championship.
Yeah, well, I'd prefer to race her against her own sex.
Makes sense.
Same deal. I'm sure she's capable of matching it with the boys, but she's probably the best mare at this stage, and it doesn't mean you win the race, depending on draws and luck in running, but obviously she's got the score on the board at the moment. Yeah,
Morse hopes she goes with the Mares race because he's 4-year-old. Tricky Mickey doesn't want any more competition.
No, thank you. No, particularly against this mare, she's just too good for him. That's for sure. No, she's.
Obviously his campaign wasn't as good as you would have hoped, I would imagine, last time. But we know he's a lot better horse than what we saw in that last campaign.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you travelled a horse before over east, Shane?
Never.
Okay, so this is an experience for you as well.
Yeah, and that, obviously, it may be with the wrong horse because she's so good. It would have been nice probably to have some experience before that. But obviously, going to Chris Elford's and talking to people, I'll get as much information as I can of how to try and do it right and get it right. And, the other reason to take, there's a couple of reasons to take her over. Obviously, it's a big money race, and it's the first one of its kind in Australia. So it's nice to be involved in that I'm sort of involved anyway. But it's probably the only chance I would imagine I'll ever get to have a crack at it. So I think she's good enough.
Yes, she's certainly good enough, and you'll have everybody.
I think Adam Hamilton said today when he was talking to the boys that she'll be one of the favourites for the Singo, just on what he's seen on who's going to nominate. So. It's got to be interesting to see. And as you said, you got to go over and stay with Chris Alford, who's obviously been a part of a lot of teams that have travelled to Sydney and have won a lot of big races out of Melbourne interstate. So you're obviously getting advice from the right people, Shane.
Yeah, that's right. They've been there, done that, and they're good. I've known Chris for a long time. He's a really good bloke. They'll just probably guide me as good as they can, and then it's probably up to me after that. So we've got a bit of logistics to get through to get her to Sydney and all that, or how we're going to do it, or whether we get a lift with someone that's going up from the racing side of it, or we truck her up. But first things first is just to get her to Melbourne, hopefully get her to settle in and go from there. But on what I know of her here, she's a very level-headed type of horse. Not a lot seems to bother her. So hopefully that's how she handles the trip.
That's good. We're all with you, and we'll be certainly first we're looking forward to watching her go around tomorrow night, but we will be certainly behind her, watching her in the Singo, and then hopefully pushing onto the Eureka, because we know she will acquit herself well. And as Michael said, they are an amazing group of 4-year-olds, but she will acquit herself well. So all the very best, certainly on my behalf, Shane.
Thank you.
And I think you're the type of horse that Singo would love to invite. A horse from WA. He likes to create, a a bit of publicity around it, and for him to pick a mare from WA to go into the first Eureka, I think that's very Singo-like.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think in this day and age, got to have a bit of a quality. So need a female in it.
Yeah, agreed.
That's exactly right. He's probably not known for his equality Singo, and he's been married about 7 times, so he doesn't like the female. So
I might have to con him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Shane.
But I'll just finish saying too that she doesn't have to win tomorrow to go as long as she runs well. If she performs well and something doesn't go right or she gets beat, it's not the end of the world. It's just she might get caught out a little bit with the fitness. I don't believe that, but races can be funny things. So it's just more that she performs well. She can still probably go.
Yeah, particularly like sometimes these smaller fields, and you're outside the front, so it's not going to be a cakewalk for you.
No, and Steno a few weeks ago in front ran some solid time. So she happens a lot in front, and she's a quality mare.
Yep.
It ain't going to be a walk in the park.
No,
well, hopefully it is, but I'm not expecting that.
We're hoping for a nice top your WA racing off to set you on the path for the Eastern States. Shane, mate, really appreciate you taking your time to speak to us. Good luck to tomorrow night, and hopefully she's on that plane on Tuesday, and then we see her in Sydney in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Good on you. Shane Young there, one of our dozen listeners. Morts?
I think he is on the list, yeah.
Yeah, he's on the list.
Which is good, which is a shame, because I thought we could have added one, but we can't go up. But,
and really good guy, and great to see he's got this mare. And as I said, her record is just unbelievable. She's won 27 out of 43, has never missed a battle.
9 places as well.
9 places, 540,000 in stakes, and 6 out of 9 this year. And as you said, she's gone to another level. She was always very good, but I think she's just got better and better and better.
Yeah, I agree. And
is a West Side horse, so fly like an eagle in a Eureka. That's certainly going to fly the flag for WA breeding.
Certainly is. No, it'll be great. Looking forward. Just hope she gets around well tomorrow night, performs well on that plane, and then we can follow her as she heads towards the Eureka, hopefully.
Bred by the Charleses, and we've both had success from the Charleses, particularly Trots.
Yeah. No, that's great. Really good news.
Yeah, but great to see. Wonderful to fly. Go head over there. Start off with the Singer, which is a fantastic concept, and then hopefully she gets in the Eureka. But obviously the stock 8 and a reserve spot should be there for her. Yeah,
no, I think I'd love to see. Yeah. We'd just love to see her get into the Eureka. We know it's going to be tough because of the quality, but just love to see how she goes.
Yeah, so would I.
Because, as Shane alluded to, you get that right run behind them. She would be more than nuisance value. So.
Oh, 100%. And Tab Touch went up at $1.20 about her in the race, and someone thought that was a good price. She's into $1.18.
$1.18, yeah, $1.20.
So wonderful to fly. She's certainly going to fly the flag for WA over there. But big news in WA, Morts, this morning, announced by the RAWA Chief Executive Ian Edwards that the Nullarbor has a 25% increase, so that's goes to 1.25 million, and majority of that, I'm told, will go to the bottom end, so it's more attractive for the slot holders to get something out of it, because it certainly was a little bit harder if you finished unplaced, but more attractive and more worth the gamble, as you well know, as a slot holder.
But that makes it the second richest harness race in Australia.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad effort, $1.25 million. So, that is good. And the distribution of prize money was always something that needed to be addressed because it was difficult.
Yeah, I think the first year that's what they could do.
Yep.
And then it was always going to be, all right, if we can get there, if we can increase, and obviously the way that it performed, it was in the top, I think 6. I think it was the 6th greatest turnover race in WA history. Behind the 300 Minions and a couple of races in COVID, which were inflated. But yeah, so obviously in the back of that success, building it, which is pretty much what they did in New South Wales with their slot race in the thoroughbreds, and you know the Quokka was a great success. And the other big news is that all 3 races will be standalone nights. So Thursday night for the grand race, the Sandgroper. Friday night at Gloucester Park for the Nullarbor, and then Saturday for the Quokka. So it just made it too hard, and logistically, particularly if for the slot holders that had, you know, one in each
racing at the pooches,
particularly you know the Rams guys, because unfortunately for the dogs, like the crowd left because they all came to Gloucester Park. So and then they were all there to finish at the Quokka. So it would have been tough if they raced Saturday night to leave, especially if you won, to celebrate and then leave and have to go somewhere else. So I think it balances it out a lot better. Thursday night traditionally interstate has been the Greyhound night. Into Friday night, into Saturday. So I think it's going to be a much better balance and much better, a smoother transition, and then obviously I think decision will be made around barrier draws and stuff like that in the next month or two. So it'll be, I think it'd be good if we had one function for all 3 barrier draws, but you know, that's got to be decided between the clubs and RAWA in the coming months. And
the important thing is it's an increase in stake money, which, as we know, is a very hot topic at the moment around Australia.
Big news out of Victoria. A $10 million cost savings, but that means a $3.9 million reduction in stakes. Heard Matt Isaacs on Michael Felgate's Racing Pulse program this morning on 927, and it's going to affect all parts of the industry, and this is a reality that we're facing now as far as wagering performance. Distribution is exclusively on wagering performance, and Victoria is at the mercy of a market share with the TAB, and obviously they get their own point of consumption tax, and also their product fees from the bookmakers, which is now the most, the biggest percentage of your revenue. But this is a reality of wagering dictates your distribution, and you live and die by your wagering. If you're not improving your wagering, there's going to be issues as far as what can be paid out.
Let this be a warning to all parts of Australia with harness racing.
South Australia had a small, just under $1 million, I think, but that was out of government funding from the POC. So they put up their POC from 10 to 20%, and that was the result of that. They got an extra $1 million, but you can't keep on putting up the POC to pay for it, because you just kill wagering that way. So at the moment, I can't see it going over 20 anyway, the POC, and that's the highest of any jurisdiction at the moment. There's a couple, but so that's a part of it. But once again, the majority of your revenue comes from product fees from the corporate bookmakers, and then your TAB distribution is number 2.
There's a lot of competition out there for the punting dollar. A lot of competition,
so. and there's no one thing that increases wagering. So there's no one magic bullet. There's a couple of levers you can pull, and you know just on what you can and can't do. But it's a multifaceted, Sky One, venue, field size, those sort of things. But Sky One and venue are the main 2.
It's amazing the difference Sky One makes. To turnover, it's just incredible.
So
venues just as big, and then, like you say, field size, quality of race, all that sort of thing makes a big difference.
And there's also been news, and it's been coming for a little bit. I think they got told it's been coming from Queenslanders. They're going to take Albion Park sooner than they actually forecast.
Right.
So they're building a new track. But whether that'll be finished by the time that Albion Park is taken by the government, because the government is going to put, as part of their Olympics, they're taking over Albion Park. They don't want to move. They've been told to move because Albion Park have been taken over by the government. So for the Olympics, but whether they've actually got their new track built, and certainly if they do, it'll only be track stables for racing facilities,
a couple of tents here and there.
If they get them up, so it'll be mainly for. I'd imagine if they can get it done in time, and even that, I think there could be a bit of a delay between, because you can't just build a track like it's.
So where else? So
Redcliffe, Marburg.
Yeah, okay.
They're the 3 tracks.
Yeah,
and Albion Park. So there's a few issues for harness racing around the nation at the moment.
But certainly the one which was highlighted by Harness Racing Victoria is the biggest one. Yeah. And we know it all too well. The issues we face here in WA, just to, in terms of turnover, is enormous.
Yeah. The pressure from the other 2 codes about wagering performance is certainly there. So.
Yep. And this is not something we want to see in WA.
No, it is not. Certainly not. No. As far as even stagnant distribution is not ideal, particularly with the cost of everything going up, travel, and to get to these tracks. There's a lot involved in travelling, considering where the majority of horse population is based at the moment, Morts.
Yep, and everything involved with harness racing from an owner's perspective has become more expensive, as everything else in his feed is more expensive, and cartage and all these sorts of things. So it just adds to the cost. So the last thing we can afford to have is prize money going backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then there's just no incentive for people to want to breed and to want to race and to want to be a part of the. So it's.
That's exactly right. And our levels are as good as anywhere in the country at the moment. We just need to make sure we can continue to build on that.
Agree. Yeah. Agreed.
All right. Well, we just spoke to Shane Young, and the Youngs combined. I speak of Madeline and Jocelyn in the first race. You mentioned it first up off the top of the show, Morts, how good Castella Delacqua went.
Yeah, really well. It was a good, solid win.
Yeah.
Good, solid win.
Yeah, we saw our Lily Lou with Corey Peterson hold the front. He said he was going to hold the front on the show, which was the guide for the punters, and Jocelyn got straight into the 1-1. It was a great drive, and they were sort of going quick enough for her, even time, and she seemed to be able to. She was going to win a long way out.
Yeah, well, she drew the 11, so she just got a nice run through, got a good cart the whole race. But when she hit the front, held them pretty safe, pretty easily.
Should be heading towards the Oaks, I'd imagine. So as we go to the break, let's listen to Castella Delacqua winning the first at Gloucester Park last week.
Delacqua joins in 3 wide, then Spirit of an Angel. Behind them, Sporting Grace in the straight. Sandy Shore joined by, on the outside, Castella Delacqua. Castella Delacqua has raced up and shot to the front from our Sandy Shore and Spirit of an Angel. And it's coming away first up. Castella Delacqua wins it well from our Sandy Shore, Spirit of an Angel.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Prince of Pleasure comes out 3 wide for one sharp burst in the straight. The Code Breakers in front. Patronus Star. Prince of Pleasure's coming down the outside with a really good run. Prince of Pleasure all over the top. Raced up to Patronus Star. Takes the lead. And Prince of Pleasure has won from Patronus Star. The Code Breakers.
Yeah, good drive from Junior. He was 3 back the pegs. Coming to the bell, he's extricated into the 1 line, the 1 wide line, and then he was just too good in the end. Prince of Pleasure and Bomber, one of the only tipsters to sort of get around Prince of Pleasure, but started 3:30.
Yeah, I don't think that was probably how it was originally mapped, but the way it turned out was a good result. Very patient drive by Junior in the end. He just waited Summed
it up really well. Patronus Star was good in second.
And got the money, over $4, so great result.
All right, now this segment is brought to you by Retrovision. Morts, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive a 5% every day on the best price.
They certainly do, and this weekend you can get into your local Retrovision store and you can get a bundle, Hisense big screen TV and a Hisense sound bar and get 20% off. So get into your local Retrovision
Straight
store.
To the pool room with it.
Absolutely. 85-inch.
All right, a man who's in great form is Scott Bomber Hill, and he joins us on the line. It was a good week last week, Bomber.
Yeah, it was, Rads. We had wrong map, right result with Prince of Pleasure and a couple of nice easy watches with Cyclone Charlotte and Raven Banner. Turned out a good night. Yeah,
they don't pay in the map, Bomber. They only pay on past the post, which is the main thing.
And we got the drift ride on a Rolling Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as you talk about maps, I'd much rather have the wrong map and the right result than vice versa. That's for sure.
That's exactly right. All right, that's a 10-race card tomorrow night. Let me just see if the markets are up for the first race we got to have a look at. But as I said, the first race on Friday night, if I have a look at the market here, Morts, is at 5:28. So the first race at 5:28, 10 races. And let's look at what we've got programmed for tomorrow night. And we start off with Bombers tips in race number 3. And let's have a look at the market for race 3 at Gloucester Park. And we have Henrik Larsson at 4.20, Cloud 9 at $6 for Stewie McDonald, One Smart Fella $6, Rockaball $6, Fire Rock Fire Roll $11, Master Publisher $3.80, Blue Blazer winner last week at $1.26, Getting Wiggy with it at $61, Rockstar Rebel at $81, then we've got Awaiting Instructions at $15, G Smith $41, and Beat City at $8. This is a wide open market here, Bomber. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I think I found one for the place here. Rad's number 10, Awaiting Instructions. There's no doubt this is a massive step up in grade for him, but he gets the cosy draw to overcome that. And I think Henrik Larsson can hold up from the pole. And whilst Awaiting Instruction rarely sees the mobile, I think he can probably hold the leaders back, or 3 pegs at worst. And at big odds, I'd like to think he can fill a hole. He ran a 56.5 last week when bailed up on the fence and nowhere to go. And a repeat of that should see him in the money here, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting race, Bomber. There's quite a few horses with a chance. Nothing really stamps itself as the clear outright favourite, but hopefully we can get a nice run up there behind Henrik Larsson and get the last crack at him and maybe finish a place. It'd be good with Chris Lewis, race 3, number 10, Awaiting Instructions. What's your staking plan?
Yeah, 1 unit bet. He is going to require his share of luck, which he didn't get last week, so hopefully it comes his way this week.
Going about $3.90 for the place, Awaiting Instructions, and with AC Lewis aboard. All right, race number 4 at Gloucester Park is the Catalano Mobile Pace. And as we have a look at the market, this is the free-for-all. We've got the Mustang at $4.60, Babyface Adder at $7.50, Watching Our Coin $2.20 in favourite, Gary Hall Jr. electing to drive, Watching Our Coin ahead of Prince of Pleasure, with Stewie McDonald got the drive at $3.40. El Daytona, a last start winner at $26. Tenzing Bromac, $5.50. And the Codebreaker at $34. Few in red-hot form at the moment in this race, Bomber.
Great race.
We have Watching Our Coin with Junior at $2.20. Prince of Pleasure, Stewie McDonald, $3.40. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I'm hoping Junior's got it wrong here. I'm sticking with Prince of Pleasure. I thought the Mustang would hold up before then taking a sit on Watching Our Coin, who looks to be the logical leader as a result of that. But Prince of Pleasure should slide across into the one outline, or the Tenzing Bromac would progress to the chair, and he's going to have to go up and have a look at Watching Our Eye pretty early, and that they could sort of match horns there for a little bit too early, and hopefully they can just pressure each other out of it with this bloke just sitting on their backs. And he broke 56 on his way home last week, and he'll have derived plenty of confidence from that win. I think he's a chance of sailing over the top again.
Yes, was a nice win last start. Very patient drive by Gary Hall Jr., who this time is on Watching Our Coin. There was a big push by our very good friend Hayden King a few weeks ago. Great race though, Bomber. Tenzing Bromac, tricky draw, but great win last start. Got the Mustang, Watching Our Coin, Prince of Pleasure, but we were stuck with the number 4. So race 4, number 4, Prince of Pleasure. What's the staking plan?
Yeah, another 1 unit bet. He probably needs the map to turn out exactly as I have it. So, yeah, if that's not the case, then we might be in a bit of pain. But, I'd like to think that's the way it turns out, and then he can be strong late.
Well, we got the map wrong last time, Bomber, and we got the cash. So, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, it was a good win too. Good win. Never looked.
That's right, and Bomber's been in great form, which means we don't need, but it's great to have them there. Loans 1, 2, 3, Morts.
Always good to have the great man Steve Sell, the nude nut, on standby, Michael. But with Bomber 10-unit win last week, 5 units the week before, he's going to be out of a job, the nude nut.
Sure is. Loans123.com.au, or the very easy to remember number. 1-800-100-100. Still doing things the banks can't. Yes, he's a great man, Stevie Sell, great supporter of Tab Radio and us here at Talking Trots. All right. You mentioned also at the top of the show, Mort's Master Yoshi, and Junior couldn't hold him slow enough. Went like an absolute Learjet. It goes around in race number 1 tomorrow night. He's $1.85 with Denny Roberts back aboard, ahead of Kimball with Stewie McDonald at $2.80. And they look like the punters elect. As we go to the break, let's go back a weekend. Master Yoshi found the front and nothing was going to get past him.
Third place now, Xperia on the inside from Stormy Skies, and the rest of them at the moment not quite in it, although Steno's starting to wind up, but Master Yossi's clear from Street Hawk, Steno, and also Who's the Dad coming through now, but Master Yossi does it all the way, and in the end, it's a Bon Quinella. Master Yossi from Street Hawk, Who's the Dad?
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Closing nicely the favourite. Then Alta Queen, Don't Be Silly Chili, but it's Cyclone Charlotte bursting up on the outside and hitting the front in a dashing display. Cyclone Charlotte racing away from Beyond the Sea. Alta Queen let it linger the inside, but Cyclone Charlotte has won brilliantly. Cyclone Charlotte by about 15 metres to Beyond the Sea.
Pretty impressive, Morts. Again, we mentioned at the top of the show, had to overcome a couple of difficulties, but in the end, just too good.
Once you got to them, just put panels on them.
Yeah.
Very impressive after a bit of early interference. Drew the 12, but good drive and just put them to the sword very quickly.
Indeed. All right, this segment is brought to you by our good friends at Steel Blue Boots. Built for comfort, made for work, and Mort stockists nationwide, but more importantly, plenty right here in WA.
Certainly is. They are designed for comfort, as we know, because you wouldn't even know.
Got to wear them to the NRL on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, just in case the Knights get beaten, you might be able to...
take it out.
Yeah.
on the wall.
So designed for comfort, durability and choice, backed by a 30-day 100% comfort guarantee, which you won't require because they are just a mark of true skill. A bit like one of the owners.
Will he be there on Friday night?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no, okay.
He's away. Yep.
Hope he's back for Sunday.
Yes.
All right. The main race of the night tomorrow night is the Joggin Higgins Memorial. Always a great race at Gloucester Park. They've had the heats on the provincials in the final at Gloucester Park, $50,000. And let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. We got BJ's Boy drawn the pole at $5.50. Rockmeister at $3.20. Open up at $3.80. Touch $3.90 into $3.20 favourite. Rock on Top at $7.50. Miss Lamar at $51. Max Better at $21. He's a Cool Mac at $1.26. Peter Petrify at $5 and pretty steady. Cheer the Major, $19. Open 10s, got out to 19, back into 12. Vintage Blue at $1.26. And then on the back line, we got our Trump Card at $31. Paul Edward, another one, a stablemate to Rockmeister at $3.60. And Lucky Galleon, 51 into 34. Bomber, this is another really good betting race here. Support for Rockmeister, the best so far on Tab Touch at $3.20. Which way do you see the race going?
Yeah, I'm with a stablemate, Rads. He's flying at present, Paul Edward, and I thought this race set up perfectly for him. Being a 50k race, there should be plenty of pressure. There's speed right across the front line, and I thought he could just sit out the back and mind his own business. He got the perfect trip there at Northam, but presented when he needed to and joined in to run a slick 57 last half. And Trent Wheeler, who drove him on that occasion, didn't move a muscle, so it won't have done him any harm. I think the quicker they go, the better. And he just looks to just camp right over them. And if he gets that right run into the race, he'll sprint very, very hard late.
Yeah, it's a fairly open event, the John Higgins Memorial. There's a couple of good runners out which have drawn out wide, which makes it a little bit tougher for them. Rockmeister, Rock on Top in there in 2 and 3, and As you said, Bomber, Paul Edward, I have been impressed with him this time in. I think he's improved a lot. Got the services of Madison Brown in gate number 11, currently paying $3.60 on Tab Touch. What's our staking plan? Race 5, number 11.
Yeah, 2-unit bet. I cannot see how it's not ran really genuinely this race, and he's just going to eat that up, and then Matty can just present him late, and he's going to have to take plenty of holding out.
Certainly will.
Yeah, Dylan was a guest on the show this morning with Tim and Diggers, and hopefully he's back driving soon. Just had that concussion protocol from the fall not that long ago. So, but tell you what, he's got a strong hand and training plenty of winners out of Serpentine. More.
He certainly is going very well as Dylan.
All right, let's have a look at the final race we're going to look at, and this is the NRL, the Bridge Bar. We had Shane Young on earlier.
So, come on, Michael, who's playing in the NRL
this week? This week we got the mighty Newcastle Knights looking for 5 in a row.
And they're playing in Perth.
They're playing in Perth. They're playing the Dolphins, and that's the first game.
That's Wayne Bennett's team.
That's Wayne Bennett's team, so we'd love to beat them.
Yeah.
And then it is South's Latrell Mitchell up against Cronulla with Nico Hines. So South's
double header.
Yeah, double header.
Oh wow! And what night's that?
Saturday afternoons. I think first game at 3:30, second game at 5:30. So
lucky it wasn't Friday night, Michael.
Bridge Bar open from about midday. So
okay,
yeah. So
very good. Oh, that's good. Should be a good night there across there at Optus.
Indeed.
You'll be there, of course.
Certainly will.
Yes, you're going there straight after the show tonight, just to make sure. Oh, you got the Knights hat on as well.
You got the cap on.
Yeah.
The boys are in town. Saw a picture of Caelan walking across King Street today. So
you've been trolling them on social media.
Well, pops up.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market, and we've got in race number 6. This is the mare's race, and we've got Let It Linger 16, Stormy Skies at 16, Steno 320, pretty solid there. American Armour 41, She's Our Hope 91, Simply Shaz at 91, and Wonderful to Fly 120. They thought that was a good price, into $1.18 for Shane Young. Bomber, who leads the tipping competition in the NRL and ESPN, the ESPN group. Which way are you going in in race number 6? We've got Wonderful to Fly. She's very short at 118 and plenty of people cheering for her. Steno 320, the only 2 in the market.
You probably could be leading that rugby league tipping if you didn't tip Newcastle every week.
I've made a comeback though, and I didn't tip them against Melbourne.
I noticed.
I jumped off.
Yeah.
Too smart, me.
Yeah.
The reverse mob.
No, I've actually gone against the hot pot here. I'm with Steno. It's no great knock on the magnificent filly, but I just got the doubts on whether she can come back from a 6-week break and do the work outside of a rock hard Steno, which I think will lead and just keep running. Jocelyn led on a 2 starts back and then ran the whole way, and I think Spix will do the same tomorrow night, which could just leave the Wonder filly a little bit vulnerable. I think at the price, she's worth a play for sure. She was exceptional last week when she came wide in the mile race to take ground off the boys in a sub 155 mile. She's going to be in front. She's going to give us a good sight.
Yes, certainly going to be in front. That's for sure, Bomber. And all eyes on Wonderful to Fly as well, as we just hope she gets around well and performs well and then just gets the chance to go across east. But like you say, first up, Bomber, race 6, number 3, Steno, trained by Corey Peterson, who we had on last week. Was a great chat with Corey, driven by Jocelyn Young. What's the staking plan here, Bomber, for Steno?
Yeah, 2-unit bet. I think if she can just run along and make the mare work, the filly work, then she's going to give a good sight.
All right, so they're the 4 tips for us for this week and the punting staking plans. Have you got a multi for us, Bomber?
Yeah, I have a 3-legger, race 5, number 11, Paul Edward, the place. I think only bad luck can see this bloke missing a place in.
Yep.
He just looks to map beautifully in behind the speed there. And then into race 8, number 1, he simply leads and wins, and we're going to get 10 to 20%, something like that, extra. And then race 9, number 6, Lenora Jane. Looks a pretty smart 2-year-old, and I think she can dominate this field.
All right, that's about just over $2.70 on the prices available for those 3 runners. And Bomber, we're hoping that the middle leg is Lay Down Mazarin. Junior got that decision right.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be very surprised if you've got any room for worry there, Brad. He should just be leading and winning.
I'm hoping he starts the weekend off well because he actually carries the Newcastle Knights colours. that's the reason he's actually in blue and red.
Yeah.
Morts and the other owners had absolutely no choice in it. So let's hope the blue and red have a great start Friday into Saturday.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and then we've got a big birthday celebration on the Sunday. So,
triple header.
Yes, it's a big weekend, Morts, for us. And Bomber, mate, really appreciate your time again. Hopefully your run continues and our pockets are full again after Friday night.
Let's hope so, Reds. Have a great weekend.
Good on you. There's Scott Bomber Hill. We'll speak to him next week. Morts, the 2-year-olds, they're starting to build up. There was a couple of good races this week. I think Team Bond came to the fore again, the Little Master. Produced a good effort, and then they
had that one first up debuted from New Zealand, which
Vegas Strip.
It was a good winner.
And we're actually going to hear that race much to your chagrin.
Right. Thank you.
To kick off the next segment. Yeah. But Wave Rider, he's probably the top of the tree as far as exposed form in these 2-year-olds that we've seen. He was just dominant in the Sales Classic, and all reports he's had a couple of little issues, but come on well since then, and probably looked a little bit soft first up. But
it was good. It was a good drive by Kyle. He had them all in his sights and knew exactly what he had to do to get the horse across the line without making it a hard run. So I thought it was a good drive.
And there's no doubt that he's going to be much improved from that effort as well. And he's certainly going to be one of the ones rolling into the Pearl, which is in a couple of weeks, into the West Bred, which is going to be a cracker. And then the Golden Slipper to finish off the 2-year-old season. As we go to the break, let's go back to the final race of last week, and Wave Rider for Kyle Symington and Ryan Bell maintained his lead, and although he is a little soft, he'll improve from this win.
Wide has bet the house. Back on the inside, Prince of Pain. The leader is Wave Rider from Menonshah, trying hard. Wave Rider's got the lead. Menonshah's coming at it, but Wave Rider's in front, pulling out enough at the moment from Menonshah and Bet the House, and Wave Rider does it well. Wave Rider by 2.5 metres to Menonshah, 3 metres Bet the House.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Ben, leading by about 6 metres. In second place is Artful Major. Down the outside is Grievous, Manhattan Moon, and then Hot Rockefeller, but Vegas Strip is going strongly. It's well clear. In second place is Artful Major. Running to third is Grievous, but a very easy win to the favourite Vegas Strip. Won by 8 metres. Second home.
Yeah, a couple of nice horses went around at Bunbury on Tuesday morning. Vegas Strip debuted. For Team Bond. Yeah, it got the cash over your horse, Art Major, and Grievous in third, 28-27 home. So, and in the first race, Mickey Diamonds for Kevin Keys and Shannon Zavalco wasn't a bad winner either. First up, obviously had a couple of little issues with Mickey Diamonds making a debut as a 4-year-old. So. Wow. But Vegas Strip, I think.
Very good win.
Got a few 2-year-olds going around Bondi. Team Bond, Dragon Sky. They're Little Masters going well. The newcomer-along's about to come back.
We've got some very good 2-year-olds. Got some very good 3-year-olds and very good 4-year-olds. So looking forward to the 2-year-old races coming up into the 3s and the 4s.
Yeah.
As we say, Michael, best time of the year for.
Yes, racing. It is, and we've got Diamond Classic heats on Tuesday at Gloucester Park. But before that, we got Northam on Saturday night. It's in conjunction with Gloucester Park. 8 races, the first at 5:50, and then on Saturday night we have Narrogin, and we have 7 races at Narrogin. The first at 5:59, and then we roll into Pinjarra on Monday. Pinjarra, I think they've got 9 races as I have a look. They've got 9 races. The first at 12:53, And then with the Diamond Classic heats at Gloucester Park on Tuesday, we've got 11 races, the first at 3:49. So there's 1, 2, 3 heats of the Diamond Classic. Waterloo resumes in the third heat. Exceptional Armour goes around the second against Chili Punter. Princess Katie, Hayden King, as you come in. Is that one of yours, Princess Katie? No, she's not yours. And then in the first heat, we've got Inner Wink for Team Bond, and a couple from Hayden. And so 3 heats of the Diamond Classic, 8 and 9 in those heats. So
that's good.
Should be a good final in 10 days after that. But more importantly, very closer, we have Northam Friday night, 5:50, and Hayden King. As we welcome you to the program, you've got the job calling.
Yeah, I'm back in action.
Good to have you back.
Mate.
Good to have you back. And it's all the race names at Northam on Friday night. Jeans for Jeans. So
very good cause.
Yeah, for cause, and I think Sean Hughes, Young.
Correct.
David Young, a big part of that. So, and I know that Garrard's is going to have some sort of offering at Gloucester Park on the night. So if you want to donate, they'll have something there. So
very good. Great cause.
Yeah, certainly is. So Northam on Friday night, Hayden, and Narrage and Saturday. What have you got for us? Have you found us a winner anywhere?
Yeah, well, here's hoping. I need to bounce back after.
You'll get another spray
after Tuesday. Glenn, no comment?
I'm sick and tired of telling you boys.
Well, to be fair, when watching our coin one, that was a stand, and I didn't hear anything after that one.
It wasn't put out as a tip. It was just what you like. You're tipping our 15 listeners into placing staking money, so we've got to make sure we provide them with some value.
How about this? We will make money tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. We like that.
Keep talking.
Okay.
Keep talking.
First race, Opal Hunter will win, but there's no spoil backing him. I think the Van Gogh Camel could run second, so he could be our place bet. Race number 1, number 4, the Van Gogh Camel a place. I like Save This Dance in race 2. Number 1 should be able to lead, has good gate speed over the short trip and gets every chance out in front. So Save This Dance in the second. Race number 3, well, it's an interesting map because Billy to the Max has drawn 1, did sit recently. It's got Matty immediately outside it. Our Surrogate's a noted gate speed horse. Could he press forward and would Billy to the Max let him go? I don't know. Our Surrogate, he led and won at Northam going back not too long ago. If he found the front, the price would look rather ludicrous. We'll move on. Race number 4, Dazzling Jewel gets a good setup there. Could be one to consider. Race number 5, we'll leave alone. Race 6, Tenacious George gets a big opportunity from gate number 1. Race 6, number 1. He is a potent front runner. The last time he led over the short course, he did win at Narrogin. There doesn't look too much pressure, so he looks hard to beat. And then race number 7, we'll leave alone. El Lucifer could be the winner there. Get the Booth is enigmatic but has talent. Flashing Archer on the second row. And the last race, this is one of the toughest races you will ever encounter. And I take that as a challenge. So Melosou D is probably Melosou D is the outsider of the field and would not be the biggest shock of the lineup. So I guess you could have a peanut there, Glenn. Race 8, number 6.
Well, I did have a peanut on something you threw out on Friday night at Gloucester Park. Actually wasn't a bad run. Finished about 6th or 7th.
Was it Rebline?
Yeah.
Came about 7 deep. It'll win one soon.
Yep. And it was a big price, so I just had a peanut each way, and it was a big run, but yeah.
There were a couple of tips I gave on Friday at Gloucester Park that I changed at the psychological moment as I was giving the Sky announcement my tips.
Psychological moment.
And they both, well, my former tips both won and my new tips didn't.
Never change.
Yeah.
Never change. I'll never learn.
No.
Didn't we have that conversation?
I think we did.
Yes.
Back yourself.
Yep.
Be interesting to see on Friday night how Opal Hunter goes in the first. I've got a lot of ability.
It'll win.
Yeah, got a lot of ability. And
if it doesn't win, I won't be here next week.
Okay.
Right.
Goes into, I'd imagine, the Pearl heats and then into those other races. But unfortunately, a scratch from the Sales Classic after he ran so good in his debut. But he's had one run back. He got the cash, and you'd think he'd improve on that run. But yeah, he looks too good. The $1.60's not going to be there.
I can tell you the 10th and the 100th points are in the wrong place. He is actually $1.06.
Yeah, okay.
$1.06.
There we go.
Anything for us tonight, Hayden?
Well, I've actually been thinking. It's not ready yet.
Right.
It's going to be the chef special.
The chef special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I don't really know how it's going to work, but I've been I've been enthusiastic about gastronomics lately. So I've done some cooking, and I'm trying to cook something up for you guys at home. But
fantastic. So we're gonna bring something in and share it.
yes.
Fantastic.
Like our own personal food truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm focusing on the 7 elements of taste.
The 7.
Yes. Well, actually, I was doing some research on this.
Yeah.
In 2002.
How many circles of hell are there?
I don't know. But there were only 4 taste elements back in 2002, and then they upgraded it to 5.
And now we've got 7.
Recently, we can find 7.
Wow. And I'm sure you can just rattle them off one after each other.
Yes. Salt, sweet, sour, bitter, umami, fat, and spicy.
Go back before, what was about 3 back?
Umami.
Yeah.
That's like the savoury taste you get in like a meat or something. But umami in Japanese actually means like delicious or something like that. You obviously haven't been watching the same cooking videos I have.
No. I love cooking. Yeah, all the time, but obviously not the same show. No.
Meat and 2 veg, I'm tipping Morts.
Yeah, I don't go too far outside the circle.
The first circle. You're stuck in the
first
Where are you
circle.
on the food pyramid?
No, I'm very plain when it comes to food.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And I've got to say, in your 60 years, happy birthday. Is
Thank
it
you.
tomorrow?
I believe so, yeah.
Tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Morts.
To you,
Thank you very much.
Hopefully
Much
you get a
appreciated.
winner on your birthday.
Yes, well, I'm taking the day off tomorrow.
Oh, yeah? Oh, good on you.
Yep, going to go and have breakfast with my boys and then lunch with the leader of the opposition and see what happens.
Watch Rolling Fire. Get the cash.
Be nice, yeah, be very good. So, it'd be great to take the day off and then got a bit planned on the weekend with the family and then out with some motley crew on Sunday. So
Looking forward to
Monday-
that, Morts.
So Monday may
We've
never
been
happen.
promised good wine from Steel Blue Boots.
Yep. No, it should be good. Looking forward to it.
Yes, and we'll give a review on that next week, the food for you,
Yeah.
Hayden. But and we might even get a movie review out of Hayden. Apparently seen Oppenheimer during the week. He's steered Gary Hall Jr. into it, apparently.
So rather than bring us popcorn, bring us in the food. We'll eat that and you can give a review on Oppenheimer. And I'll sit there with the dictionary just in case you throw up what was it called again, that sense?
Umami.
Umami.
You sure you don't want a Barbie review instead?
Barbie as well.
Barbie?
Yeah.
Or barbecue?
Not barbecue.
Right.
Both.
Right.
Okay.
I think Michael will wear his pink shirt in.
Yes.
And we'll...
Indeed.
What about
enjoy.
his pink Steel Blues?
Yes, for cancer.
Yep.
Donate to cancer.
Sounds good.
All right. I think we've probably on long enough.
Yes, we have.
Hayden, thank you for your time. We'll have you see you next week. Morts, a very happy birthday
Thank
for
you
you
very much.
tomorrow, and good luck. That's not self-serving at all on Friday night.
Yes. No,
and hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
And once again, Bomber, thanks for coming on, Bomber Hill, and also Shane Young. Great to have Shane Young on, and really hope he goes so well tomorrow night and then heads to Sydney and flies the flag for WA.
Yep, looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks for your company, everyone. Until next week, it's bye for now.